we are in Solon, Iowa. We're getting ready to go on the trail that goes from Solon, Iowa to Ely. It's a great bike trail. It's supposed to be about 6 miles long. I think we're on the right trail. There are a confluence of trails here from the Solon Nature and Recreation area. The camp host in our campground suggested we take this trail. He also said that there is a great place to have ice cream when we get to Ely. So here in the little town of Solon, they have a beautiful recreation area. They have ball fields and playground areas and soccer fields and a disc golf course and great walking and bike trails throughout the area. And here we are back to the beginning. We took a little bit of a wrong turn, so some very nice people told us we were going in the wrong direction. So we had to come back here to the dome, and we're going to get on this part of the trail, which says the North Shore Trail, but that's the bike route. So they said go this way, so this is where we're going, along the Hoover Trail here in Solon, Iowa. Heading towards Ely. Apparently I was pronouncing that wrong. Oh wow, look at the beautiful yellow wildflowers along the side of the road. Okay, so on the right of this bike path is the road that we drove from our campground into the town of Solon to pick up the trail. So I think up here is a little place where you can pull off and have a parking area, and it looks like on our left is actually a mountain biking track where you can ride the moguls and whatever. Lakeview OHV State Park is what it's called. So it looks like we could have parked here and ridden the trail and not driven all the way into Solon. So here we had to cross the busy highway, and we're going to pop onto the trail and pick it back up going this way. So we picked up the trail on the other side of the highway, which is really reassuring, because when we drove in and we saw that the truck kind of stopped, we were a little concerned that we would have to go on the highway, but no, they just picked up the trail, and now we're going on the opposite side of the highway, still going in the direction of Ely. I read on a sign that you could also take snowmobiles on this trail if there is a sufficient amount of snowfall. I think something like 4 inches, it said. Okay, so we're going to come up here to a stop sign and see what we have to do here. Oh, we can continue on the same path. We just crossed this street, and here we go. So along the trail there are signposts with blue markers that have a QR code, and it is emergency locators. So if you have trouble along the trail, you can call someone and tell them exactly where you are on the trail. So it's kind of a nice feature. So here we are, officially in the little town of Ely. So we had a little lunch in Ely next to the Ely City Hall. We had brought our lunch, and we're going to ride down here a couple blocks to find the ice cream shop. It's a cute little town. Looks like it has a restaurant. It has some new apartments. If you go to the right here, you pick up the Cedar Valley Trail, which will take you all the way to Cedar Rapids and beyond. And here we are, Dan and Debbie's Creamery. It looks like a great place. Hopefully there's going to be a place to eat our ice cream in the shade. So here we are getting ready to leave the town of Ely. We are going on the Hoover Trail, which is connecting to the Cedar Valley Nature Trail, and we're going to travel back the 6 miles to the town of Seoul. We had ice cream at Dan and Debbie's Creamery. Very good. We've enjoyed our little trip into Ely, and now we're heading back to the car.
Destination is ahead on the right.
So we have arrived at the Devonian Fossil Gorge Trail. And you are here with the Back Road Wanderers, Ron, Jeff, and Shirley, and Sandy, and we are going to check out the Devonian fossils. So the limestone in the gorge here dates back to the Devonian period, about 382 to 389 million years ago. And you can see fossils in most of these layers of limestone that have been exposed. This whole area was actually exposed during the 1993 floods, because it eroded a lot of the land around here to expose these limestone beds. And they have said, so the cool thing about this area is that they have it so well marked, and they have an audio tour on your phone that you just download, and it tells you what the markers mean and what you're seeing as you're walking through.
You will notice a slippery elm tree on the top of rock ledges. The lower ledge is composed almost entirely of densely packed colonial coral called hexagenaria, named for its 6-sided shape, and the honeycomb-like basocytes. Like modern coral, these colonies are all benthic, or bottom-dwelling. These colonial corals created reef-like structures similar to what we find in tropical seas today, and provided great habitat for many of the other Devonian creatures. The ancient reef formed a layer of life called biostrome. Here you will also find sponges, brachiopods, and crinoids. This layer of life, resembling a skeleton of corals found in today's oceans, stretches east to the Mississippi River and north into Minnesota. You are now standing on the roof of a collapsed cave, formed by groundwater eroding the limestone over a long period of time. The overlying biostrome collapsed into the cave and became cemented to the cave floor. Over time, erosion exposed the colonial coral fossils you see here today.
So this is at the dam of Coralville Lake. Lots of water. So we figure this pelican is sitting here waiting for those fishermen to drop a fish. He looks pretty hungry.
Where's the rest of your buddies?
Yeah, usually a pelican is with a flock. Maybe he's an old pelican.
He's on vacation, so I had to get away from that family.
So here are the Back Road Wanderers. Ron is driving, Jeff's navigating, and there's Shirley, and this is Sandy, and we are off on an adventure to the Amana Colonies in Iowa. Shirley has figured out where we're going, what we're doing. She has all the inside info, and Jeff has the map. So we are doing great. So here we're turning down the street to the Amana Colonies. There's a museum.
Is this the visitor center?
Antique, the painted cupboard, village antiques. The Fireside Winery is over there. Cellars,
There's our restaurant.
leather,
There's our restaurant. We're gonna eat at.
restaurant,
Ladies Boutique.
International Christmas Market. This is not Ron's thing. How about the popcorn and ice cream company? There's Ron's thing.
The baker would make coffee cakes filled with fruit and bring it to the people on Saturday so they could have it for Sunday morning.
So we're going to start our day here in the Amana Colonies at the Amana Colonies Visitor Center. Okay, so we left the Visitor Center. Shirley has an app on her phone that's going to take us on a little walking tour. So we're going to head down this way to the woolen mill. Definitely want to see the woolen mill. Definitely want to go to the quilting place. Ron wants to visit the smokehouse and the clock shop. Lots of things to explore in these little colonies. There are 5 or 6 of these little villages, all within like 2 or 3 miles of each other. And each one is known for different things. So the reason for them to have 7 different villages instead of one large village was because the farmers lived in the villages, not on the farms, and this way that was more efficient. This event center used to be a dairy barn. So as we're walking down here towards the woolen mill, we're passing some little shops. This has got a garden area. It's called Serenity Sage Herbs and Tea Shop. So we're passing here a little garden place. But here's the Amana Woolen Mill. I think it'll be interesting to go and look and see what this has to offer us. So we walked through the beautiful little shop where they sell all of the woolen articles and the cotton articles that they make here. This area that was all part of the woolen thing has now been turned into a resort, or to a hotel area where they have event centers and places you can rent out and eat and places you can stay. But this would have been the mill race where they used the water to power the woolen mill. Here's also the Mill Stream Brewing Company, where you can check out the beer and the soda. In 1993, that was the year of the big flood, the Iowa River flooding severely damaged the mill race levees. But now the levees have been repaired and the hydro is once again producing clean, renewable power. The hydroelectric plant was constructed in 1954 and has enough electricity to power about 25 homes. So this is the Amana Furniture Shop and also the Clock Shop. And it has a workshop viewing gallery. So here is the wood shop in the furniture building. The people will be coming back from lunch shortly, but beautiful wood shop area. Just about everything you might need, including a coffin.
That's the only thing you can carry.
So here we are, we're on the main street in Amana, and we're going to stop at this building, which is the Amana Heritage Museum. This has a little garden here in front. It has a little video about the whole Amana story. GoPro, stop recording.